a super good LeBlanc game because if you're ahead, then yes, you're going to do really well like he was doing. But the second you go even or behind, you're completely useless.
Right, landing stats right there, down almost 20 at 10 in terms of CSD. Did pick up a kill before that 10-minute mark. But that's where things kind of started to shift, and I want to identify for CLG how it was that they ultimately were able to move Power of Evil out of the mid lane and start making moves around the map.
Yeah, I think Power of Evil did a really good job out of lane in the mid game to like snowball himself ahead and pick up kills. I think Froggen had a pretty ideal first 10 minutes of the games. You saw the CS differential in the mid lane; they were looking for plays, but it was really a story of Power of Evil grouping up with his teammates and getting kills, and he was in the position to carry the game. You saw he had a 20-stack Magi's. He really did a good job, I would say, in the mid game. And LeBlanc does scale really well. It basically becomes a poke assassin where you have a lot of options, and you have so much agency in the game. And in the early mid game, Power of Evil did a really good job of utilizing that. But
all right, so we get ourselves to that 4-1-4 state. It's the scoreline that jumps out in my mind. But for you then, Golden Glue, at that moment in the game, I now give you control over the PC. What are you calling? What is the way we need to play it out to get the win?
I think as you actually saw him do it once in the game when LeBlanc went to the side lane and versus Aatrox. Aatrox had absolutely nothing he could do. He got poked out, got chunked to 40%, then they sieged the turret, got damage on the turret. You just need to keep repeating that, rinse and repeat. But what they did instead was they grouped up mid and opted into just trying to team fight 4v4. I think Thresh walks in and just dies with Lissandra, and it's really hard to just start a fight as LeBlanc, because if you get Lissandra ulted, you die. You straight die. So you need to be coming from the side, pressuring someone out, and then you have a flank. Let the fight start, and then you clean it up. But he was there trying to start fights, which isn't really ideal for LeBlanc.
You kind of want to pull Lissandra away from the fight because, like you said, if she's there at the beginning of the fight, you can't go in because you're going to die instantly. So, ideally, you want LeBlanc to sort of go top, kind of push Lissandra to show top wave, and then you can kind of flank mid, get a good angle, and go for the engage.
Yeah. I think to some degree this speaks, to the teams and the styles that they're used to play, or at least the styles that they have refined. Because I'll note that while we were watching the game, both of you commented, the idea that these mid laners are playing these champions like control mages, even just now. And so the play on the champions doesn't necessarily align with the win conditions of the champion. All that said, Power of Evil can play as well as he wants, but if Biofrost is going to run face first into a bush that he knows he shouldn't, then all of this goes out the window, and it doesn't matter how you're mechanically playing on your mid lane champion.
Yeah, I mean, that was really the throw of the game, where you just literally, you had a pink ward there, everyone's there, and you just run into 4 people because you're ahead of the play. They had Ken and TP flanking at the same time, so they have what's a nice idea that never gets together just because they're so far ahead of the play. And then from this point, it's like they're saying, your support's already dead. Lissandra's sitting there right next to her entire team. So even if her ult's down, she can still just tap W. And stop you from going in. So there's not much LeBlanc can do. And then from that point onwards, it was almost entirely team fight situations because they lost the Baron after that. Yeah. And now Golden Guardians is like, well, we're never going to split up the whole rest of the game.
Yeah. Right, we're going to force you to come match us or meet us down at your inhib turret. This disallows the LeBlanc to get into the side lanes. And I kind of want to return again then to that stylistic point and ask the question, should CLG be playing LeBlanc? If ultimately Power of Evil is better on, 1, he is better on control mages. 2, CLG has shown us throughout the course of this split that they can tie for first place in the standings by playing more towards that style. We know Ruin loves the Kennons, those team fight flankers. Do they even really need to open their strategic playbook to a mid lane assassin in LeBlanc? Is that something worth exploring?
I think it would make more sense on a red side, 5th pick. If you could see the champions and made sure they don't really have much lockdown, it seems like Power of Evil at least has pretty good understanding of the champion. He got really strong, really fed, and he can play the champion, obviously. It just seemed like they're just missing just a bit more, just being able to create the right conditions to fight in the late game. And I would not put LeBlanc out of the playbook right now from that game. I would say we need to review this game, figure out how we can get the conditions, send LeBlanc to side lane. Maybe you 5th pick it on red so you see they don't have Lissandra mid lane. That kind of makes it hard for you to actually do much. But LeBlanc overall, I would say, looked pretty good that game.
I also want to say that teams generally don't want to only play one style, and if your player can only play scaling late game mage champions, that really hinders your ability to draft. So in my opinion, I like the idea that they're going for, this different kind of style pick for PoE. I think, like Grayson said, maybe picking last pick red side when it's a little better situation for it, where you have more of a ganking jungler that can help sort of in the mid game, because Jarvan's good level 2, but not super good after that at ganking mid. So I think in that sense, it does make sense, especially from CLG's point of view. They're not just going to, win this game or get third. They want to win the entire LCS. So to do that, you need to have multiple ways of playing.
I like the point of clarity, too, around that from this game, you don't discount the LeBlanc performance. Power of Evil can clearly play the champion. There is still maybe some work to be done about where and when to pick it and how to pilot it as a whole. One final point that I want to kind of touch on is the idea of ease of execution around champions. And I know when we were looking at this mid lane matchup again, you got Lissandra on one side, LeBlanc on the other. In these late game situations, one is easier than the other when it comes to the decision tree of how you might approach these fights. And that is showcased in the final fight of the game.
Yeah, there's definitely a level of confidence when you know the exact combo you want to do and you don't really have to have much variation. LeBlanc has an extreme amount of variation in what you can do. So you're constantly thinking about all the options you can have, while Lissandra is very straightforward. It's like, you know what you want to do. You're going to go in, you're going to ult someone, or you're going to ult yourself, and you're going to Zanya. You're going to make a lot of time for your team. And I think it really paid off for GGS this game. They were able to just do what's known, what's easy, what's, I guess, safe, and it paid off.
Yeah, I mean, right there, you have LeBlanc on the backside of the pit trying to hop in while comboing people while knowing that you have to get back out, whereas Lissandra just eat into
a cannon ult.
Yeah, eat in, self-ulted, and like bought enough space for them to get the Baron and get out. It's so much easier. And even when Froggen was making mistakes in team fights, like the one near the bot inhibitor where he goes in so far ahead of the rest of his team, Lissandra is just like naturally tanky with Aftershock, plus you have your Zanyas and your ultimate. Like, you buy so much time that your team can react to you maybe making a slight mistake.
All right, well, with that, of course, Golden Guardians picks up the victory. We are going to say goodbye to Golden Glue and Blaze Off, so I want to thank you for joining us. Before we ship out, though, as we had them do the mid lane tier list, I just want to know from each of you, who is the best mid laner in the LCS right now? Not yourselves. First, Golden Glue.
I think I'm going to go with Jensen right now. I think Jensen is playing really well, really solid, and it seems like he can play a lot of different champions. And yeah, I think he's just really good.
Blaze Olive?
I have to go with Bjergsen. I think he's just so versatile. He can play every single style, has insane work ethic. Basically, there's virtually nothing you can say that's really bad against him.
Yeah.
Especially since coming from sort of the TSM side, I know more about kind of his intentions than other people do. And I think he gets hit a lot harder than he really should be.
That insider knowledge. Well, thank you guys very much for joining us. Appreciate all of your insight. We're stepping away. When we return, 100 Thieves look to take down Echo Fox. Meet us back here for Game 4 after this.
No ultis here. TP already getting used by CLG. Sticks in trouble. Contract's getting locked up for a while, but the first blood over to Froggen.
LeBlanc should be safe.
Nice mimic chain there onto FBI. Gonna dive back in with a distortion. Biofrost with a hook from nowhere as Wiggly seals the deal on that kill.
Lissandra, no top flash.
Yeah, we can win. No,
I could rock.
Slowly, guys.
Monsters on the run, and FBI left all alone.
Yep, Ruin able to kill who he is. Froggen goes invulnerable into his own ulti as Ruin. Gonna try and turn it back around. He finds the double, make it 3. As the Sandra falls as well, and that's Ruin dead before he can use any of his cooldowns. Not that he had many left to speak of. Firefrost dead. That's a revenge from earlier as FBI is racking up kills everywhere. Haunter procs the passive. Stixay is dead.
Welcome back to Assist of the Week, presented by State Farm. Things were looking a little grim for the Sonateric bot lane of Team Liquid as they faced off against 100 Thieves on Sunday. 100 Thieves saw an opportunity to dive, and Core JJ was the first target. Doublelift still alive, sticks close to 100 Thieves' exit, knowing Xmithy is just around the corner. As soon as 100 Thieves try to make their getaway, Xmithy greets them with Jarvan's Cataclysm, and Team Liquid cleaned up the resulting fight with a triple kill for Doublelift.
We're back and preparing for Game 4 of the day, 100 Thieves versus Echo Fox. Let's jump ourselves right into the starting rosters. Selecting blue side, it's 100 Thieves. In the top lane, Fake God. In the jungle, Amazing. In mid, Ryu, bot and support, Bang and Aframu, and their coaches, Prolly and Joseph Jang.
And facing them on the red side is Echo Fox. In the top lane, Solo. In the jungle, Mike Young. Mid lane, Phoenix. Bottom, Apollo. Support, Hakuho. And coach Song and Tyler on stage.
And for teams looking to battle out from the bottom of the standings, each squad exhibited great improvements, especially in the bottom lane.
Yeah, Bang and Aframu playing a lot more aggressively, and it's showing up in their numbers as well. High CS discrepancy there, gold advantage for themselves. Meanwhile, on the side of Echo Fox, Haku also taking over the game on Yuumi. Over 30k damage done yesterday. Their bottom lane as well will be a nice matchup for the surging 100 Thieves duo, and we'll see which one can get the better of it today.
However, though, if you look towards the other side of the map, we do have a potential mismatch between the veteran Solo and the rookie Fake God.
Yeah, I mean, Solo has probably been the best performer on Echo Fox as a whole, and Fake God coming in trying to replace Someday has definitely been one of the areas that they had to sacrifice in order to get Ryu in there and get the kind of reworked 100 Thieves. So this very well could be a very big discrepancy of the top side. Both of these players do get picked on in the top lane, but for very different reasons.
Well, see what happens here in the draft. Aurelia, Yuumi, Karma, and Zaya are the first 4 bands, with 100 Thieves lining up their next one here. Certainly seen kind of a lot of curious stuff, especially in Phase 2. I do like that teams are starting to give Azir and Corki some attention on the ban table. But Gangplank there from 100 Thieves. They're going to take away one of Solo's most powerful picks.
Definitely has been a go-to for him. Some of the biggest carry performances for Echo Fox are him on Gangplank. Sona also taking out, so we won't have any of those shenanigans in the bottom side. Meanwhile, Sejuani is the first pick. Silas still available. Trundle still available. Definitely a lot of good answers to this Sejuani as of right now.
See where they want to go, but Sejuani almost never a bad first pick. So 100 Thieves happy to snap it up there for Amazing. Haven't seen too much spiciness. That's certainly not it. But hard to blame Echo Fox for giving Azir to a player like Phoenix, who is so good in this sort of metagame.
Yeah, I mean, those are some of the highlight plays for Phoenix. Have always been on Azir. It's going to be a strong late game for them once again, and this is kind of a return to Echo Fox when they got a lot of their wins. Just pick more scaling than the other team and look for those late game team fights. Aatrox and Azir are both extremely powerful late game team fighters. Aatrox looking for those resets. Azir able to keep their backline safe as well as scale really well with the DPS.
Certainly been a somewhat bumpy road for both these teams that recently have looked a lot better. We'll see who can kind of snap that little win streak on either side, as Corki, the expected pickup there for Ryu, but again, another player that has been so consistently strong for the Thieves since joining them. It's the reason why Fake God has come up from Academy to play, because they cannot play all their imports. And again, I think especially in this metagame, Ryu has really shone in the mid to late game for the team. And there's Kennen going to be locked in by the looks of things as well. So this counter pick already into Aatrox, and certainly something that Fake God will be comfortable with.
No surprises anywhere in this draft phase. High priority champions right now being first picked. Kennen, the most capable counter into Aatrox, as we've already been over in the last game. Here we go, though. Finally, we get some spice in it. The Sylas jungle is going to come out. This is one of my personal favorites to the Sejuani, especially because Sejuani has such a great ultimate to seal. Plus, you can go the Conqueror on Sylas. You can stack it up very quickly with this champion coming from the jungle and be a much bigger DPS threat than the Sejuani. Kennen is also another great ultimate to steal. So even though it's only been 3 champions shown from the side of 100 Thieves, I feel very confident picking this Sylas and looking for another scaling champion. This one coming from the jungle. It's absolutely insane what their late game can look like if Echo Fox, get there on even footing.
Yeah, you get a full belt of Corky Rockets as well when you take that ulti, so that's not even bad for Mike King there from the jungle. However, we'll see how the rest of the draft does shake out. Bottom lane is receiving all the attention, unsurprising given that both teams have decided to take top half for their first phase. So Kalista, Kai'Sa, Ezreal, and one more to go there for 100 Thieves. We'll see if another marksman joins the fray.
All right, Ezreal and Kai'Sa and Kalista. Caitlyn's still available. Lux is also still up as a partner, so you might want to break up the Caitlyn Lux. That's a super aggressive lane, pushes in really heavily. All right, both of them are going to still be available here for the end of it. Sivir picked up. Yumi's off the table, but you can just go with the more standard partner as well.
We'll see what 100 Thieves do decide on here. If it is something as straightforward as the Caitlyn Lux here, we're banging Afro, but are going to have to show both halves here as they do have to round out the draft. Jinx is kind of an old school one, but wouldn't mind to see it into Sivir.
We just got a Deft game on Jinx over in Korea a couple nights ago.
All right, that's
Bringing
Jinx
that one
and
back out.
Kench.
All right, if Deft is going to do it, Bang's going to do it. Here we go. Jinx, definitely capable of taking over these team fights. Resets on getting excited are huge, and if Kennen Sejuani initiations can set the Jinx Corki up, that is a tremendous amount of damage that can come through. Now it's up to Aframu on the Tahm Kench to try and keep that hyper carry alive.
Ooh.
Survive long enough for it. Hakuho on the Pike now. Sivir Pike, I love this combination. Sivir annihilates the wave. She can even be left in 2v1 scenarios to deal with wave clear and allow the Pike to go get some roams off and get some action.
Well, certainly a very different type of champion. Hakuho had such a great game yesterday that it is exciting to see him on a playmaker, something that he was known for with skill shot accuracy, even on enchanters like Morgana.
Also, it's a good counter pick, I believe, into Tahm Kench, for me at least, because you can, if you get them low enough for the health threshold, then a late thick skin activation, which Tahm Kench is used to doing, because you want to use it late to get the most value out of it, actually won't help you against Pike. You can still get that execute with the ultimate, get the cash, and spread it around.
And I think Echo Fox will see if they can maybe play a bit faster. Otherwise, we may be going quite late in this one. Certainly 100 Thieves will be more than happy to just casually stroll towards the 35-minute mark, because that is some late game.
All right, here we go. 100 Thieves versus Echo Fox. Important battle here, climbing back up the standings. Both of them really making big moves here towards the end of summer and have their eyes on playoffs. Who's going to come out on top?
We'll see what happens here. But certainly both teams have been on some hot streaks recently, but that will have to end here as we look to close out week 6. Again, I think 100 Thieves have just maybe looked a little bit more consistent, certainly picking like it here in this draft, just wanting to have nice and stable champions, but with something like Pike into the mix and Sylas, which I know is your current favorite seasoning, Kobe, there's always opportunity.
That's true.
The spicy Sylas.
100% of my games over the last 2 months have been Jungle Sylas.
And is the Conqueror, which you mentioned earlier, come pretty standard, I believe, on the champion.
Yeah, you can go Electrocute, and that's, I think, a super good option for solo queue. Makes your ganks a lot more bursty, especially early game. But Conqueror, especially if you're playing into something like Sejuani, tank matchup, very, very powerful. And I think it's just generally better for pro play, considering the pace of the games. Both of them starting on the top sides here, and a defensive Trinket Ward does go down early.
just two, sorry, on the 100 Thief side, but nothing too crazy. Mike Young actually did a recall, but is looking to walk back to the same side of the jungle anyway.
And that ward, we can go a little bit deeper into it because it is just kind of that standard recall where a lot of the junglers will drop a control ward and then go back and switch to a sweeper. There's this one right here by the Tribrush. That basically blocks a possible level 2 gank from Mike Young. Sylas, while it is a really good scaling jungle champion, can just go red buff into ganks. You can catch people by surprise basically 100% of the time, I feel like, because they're really not expecting it. Sylas is not even still a super common jungler, and they don't expect the level 2, but you can just get that E and go for a very, very powerful early gank, oftentimes getting at least a summoner spell for your troubles. So that ward serves 2 purposes. It was kind of free because he just recalled and went back to go get a sweeper for himself, but also blocks a possible level 2 early route.
Well, let's see if there is any action here in the bottom half of the map. Expecting Hakuo to have to be the one to get that going. Apollo, though, as you mentioned, is doing step 1 of any civil pike lane, which is push the wave as fast as possible in towards the enemy turret. Amazing, also going to transfer up to the top side. Going to go red to blue, and looks like he did take the stop at the Raptors as well.
Yeah, Stiver's early plan usually looks like step 1, push lane, then step 2, bunch of question marks, step 3, profit at 500 CS, win game is kind of the classic meme. But honestly, both of these marksmen in the bottom side are crit scaling hyper carries for team fights. Jinx and Sivir, very similar in that regard. Sivir gets to activate her move speed. Jinx requires a reset, either off a turret kill or off a champion kill, which, does require some protection from the rest of your teammates. Everybody kind of coordinates to get you that first kill and allow you to play aggressively. She's great for chase down kills. But yeah, both of them will have very similar build paths and have very similar power spikes. So it's about the laning phase, who's going to get there first, and the jungler intervention.
Also see Phoenix in mid lane is getting some good harassment down onto Ryu's Cork. He does have Comet there for the Azir, so much more suited to kind of get things done in the early laning phase versus a Lethal Tempo, which is really just leaning into those mid-game team fights.
A little bit less scaling, but definitely more laning power. See here. Can he get the stop? A little bit too deep under the turret. Are you willing to take that turret shot, pace your time?
Am I?
Are you?
Yes. Should I? Probably not. That's Mike Young. Sweepers down towards the bottom half of the map. Hakuo looking for the hook. Ooh, Afram with a greatly timed Devour. Gonna put a stop to that one. Mike Young up to the minions he goes.
Tom Kench, baby. That's a huge reason why still picked, even after the nerfs to the Devour. Aframu has it in just in time there.
Going for again, though. Finds the hook, ignite down, bang force to flash. Mike Young, though, back in. Here's the 100 Thieves jungler, though, as Amazing wraps around.
Yeah, not going to be able to get in there. He is definitely around for the Krug's kill. Hako continuing to fish and zone them off of these minions here. Definitely some time spent, but effective time, I think, from Mike Young as they're able to get the flash off of Bang in the end. Hakuo just doesn't give up on the play. The Devour cooldown is insanely long now. It's gotten nerfed multiple times. At level 1, it is 20 seconds. So having used that on the initial gank allowed Hakuo to go for that. Now the wraparound from Sejuani, part 2.
Yeah, now this time it's a 3v2 in 100 Thieves favor onto Apollo. They look. Gonna spell shield it up, but still one more auto needed. Hakuo with a great bit of coverage, though. Dashes over, gets Amazing stun before he can proc the permafrost and even hook back in for a bit of extra damage.
Yeah, they're trying to teach him a lesson. You gank our lane, you're gonna take some damage. And on the outside, they actually had split targets there. A little bit they've got the tongue slow onto Hakuo, then Sejuani going for the combo onto Apollo, but no real advantage gained at all for it.
Yeah, Solo cooking up something there in the top lane. Does get the flash out of Fake God. As expected, Kennen was ahead early in this matchup, but Solo already seems like he's kind of taking control of the 1v1.
Yeah, I mean, usually it's around the level 6 where the Aatrox really starts to threaten those all-ins once again, and you catch right back up in CS, but I have to say, Fake God actually didn't even get that big of a lead early on, so this might be scary for him. We talked a little bit about in the intro if Solo was going to be a really rough matchup for Fake God. It looks to be the case. Solo blowing the flash of Fake God, pushing him into the turret here. Going to be able to get the reset as well. This is definitely going to put a lot more pressure on 100 Thieves' top half of the map. It's going to make it a lot more difficult to play off of that. And no teleport will be available for Fake God. Let's see if Solo can walk his way back. Nah, he's going to use his back to lane as well, I guess, to keep up that pressure. So at least for 100 Thieves, the threat of the teleport discrepancy and making the play down bottom isn't going to be there. But simply solo blowing that flash is going to draw up jungle pressure, and that allows Mike Young to start up the dragon.
Yep, there's going to be enough space here for Fox. It's Amazing. Going to look to make things uneven here in top. Solo ready with a flash, but Amazing. No ulti, going to have to charge in. World under popped, and Solo, bit of a taunt as he backs away.
Yep. He's able to earn basically the dragon by absorbing that pressure. Blows the flash on Fake God, able to get out with just popping his ultimate. Without the ultimate though, Aatrox definitely going to have to play way less aggressively, especially since Mike Young on the Silas took a lot of damage off the dragon, and he's not coming up top anytime soon.
Solo just going to get what minions he can under the turret. Has only missed one so far, I believe, and that will stay. And Solo ticks over to level 7, keeping the CS even. Having Merc Treads means I think 1v1, Solo certainly feels very comfortable. So we'll move our eyes back down to this bottom half of the map once again. Fear Sword's done for both, so that pushing power is increased. I feel like in any case, we're going to have jungle intervention to really tip the balance in these lanes.
Mike Young trying to make an attempt down there, seen on the ward though, and they know he's quite low health. Silas with the Kingslayer, of course. If you get into melee range, you can get a burst of healing, but pretty dangerous if you've already given away your position on the ward as well. So it is going to just be a recall and reset. Amazing is level 6 though on the Sejuani. Without summoners blown from Haku and Apollo, it's going to be hard to actually convert to a kill, an attempt on bottom, but they might be able to get some summoners.
6 for both marksmen here in bottom lane. Apollo taking some damage there from the Tongue Lash. Haku also maybe thinking that when he hits 6, they can try some sort of 2v2 all in, but with Amazing, we know being down to that side would be not a good move to go for, and Mike Young has finally paid some attention to the top lane here.
Yeah, it looks like he was waiting for a counter gank here, and the junglers are on opposite sides of the map, so neither jungler with any recent information on their opponents, but it is going to be a steal for Amazing in the blue buff here. And that is going to be a pretty big heads-up denial from the Azir. Let's see if bottom lane actually takes any action. Bang and Aframo doing a good job pushing that wave in. And actually prepping it for Sejuani. Possible dive situation.
Certainly Amazing, even sticking out of the brush.
Oh, no spell shield.
There's the flash ulti, nails Apollo. Amazing, under the turret they go. Apollo gonna burn the ulti after flashing away.
Oh,
has enough damage to snipe Apollo for first blood.
Oh my goodness, that must have been exact damage right there. Huge, huge burst. You get 25% of the target's missing health for Jinx, but the threshold very, very close, and with that ignite ticking down, it was just enough. Bang, right on the money.
Focusing on up though, so his Herald value is dropping slightly, certainly still worth.
Just focusing the Silas, immediately taking him down, not allowing for the stuns to come, it well. Continually getting these kills, getting these picks onto Solo.
So the first time Amazing did not. He walks anyway, he's gonna get poked by a marksman with way too much crit. And they'll take the 2 inhibs and leave. 100 Thieves know that they don't have to do
Amazing being unlocked to give attention now where he deems, as opposed to where maybe someday was demanding or needed. There's just been an ultimate shift in how the team approaches the game.
Yeah, and we don't know exactly what the communication was like before.
Right.
Maybe someday was asking for too many resources. Maybe he wasn't. Who knows? But either way, the team plays around him much better. The dives in the bot lane to set him up to unlock him, the ganks. And like, Ryu is so much more active than Soligo was. We looked into these stats today for the mid lane tier list.
Yes,
I
we
saw
did.
Soligo had the lowest forward percentage of any mid lane in the league. And now Ryu is much more aggressive, moving around the map. Yeah, he makes some mistakes. I think he was the only person who died this game. I think he died for both their deaths or something. But, you know, that's okay because he's going out on the map on Corki and packaging around and trying to make things happen.
And I know he keeps saying, someday, such a great top laner. Why can't he be in the lineup? Well, he's just crushing it in the academy right now. Like, he's having a field day.
Still
just
a great
it.
player.
6-0, turning around that team. So as a 100 Thieves organization,
you've just turned around 2 teams. It's not just one.
Yeah.
So the fact that Sunday's not involved, sure, it might not be the strongest 100 Thieves Academy team of all time, but you've now divided success up to 2 teams, and that's more people, more happiness. I think it's a good thing.
Well, I think it paints a perfect picture of the idea or the concept that the sum of the parts can very much be, greater than the individual pieces. In that, someday, I think most people would still say is a stronger individual player than Fake God.
I don't think anybody would challenge that.
Right? And yet, 100 Thieves with Fake God is a better performing team. And so, whatever it is, this echelon or this version of 5 players is better for 100 Thieves in this moment in the summer split. I do want to update standings now, because where we once thought perhaps impossible for a team like 100 Thieves with where they were a few weeks ago to make it into the playoff picture, they still sit just 1 game behind the Golden Guardians.
And if CLG did not throw that game, Golden Guardians would be tied with 100 Thieves right now. Golden Guardians are fighting for their lives to stay above 100 Thieves. It's a very tight battle between those 2 teams.
I have to admit that end of week 4, week 3, week 4, I thought playoff picture was decided. I thought we had our 6 teams, that there was a pretty clear separation from Golden Guardians up to TL and then the rest of the league. And now a lot of that's gone out the window. FlyQuest making strides as well.
Yeah, the only one, the surging Echo Fox.
Surging Echo Fox.
I was so disappointed with this game. Like, to lose that Baron with all 5 members up at 25 minutes, it was like, it felt like they had no fight. I don't know what they were doing. And after coming off the C9 victory, I was like, wow, I'm really excited to start seeing
that
things
barely
turn around.
counted as a win. I think that was such a grueling game. It was the longest game of the split. It takes a toll on you. Even if you win that, you don't feel like you won.
Their balling looked good at least. They had a big CS lead and they were taking
every game, no matter how, if it goes past that certain mark, you have that feeling of we didn't win this. Like it was a fiesta, and it doesn't register as a victory for the players, even if they needed that.
And that might be true, but I could still be disappointed, like Mark, in the discrepancy of performance between yesterday and today, considering that their bot lane was a major reason why they were in that game to win yesterday with massive leads, and then today they're the ones being targeted and shoved out, and largely a reason why 100 Thieves is able to put Bang in a position to deal damage.
They at least fought C9. They made plays. This time I didn't see anything after 18 minutes. I don't know what they did.
Yeah. Things are on the up and up for 100 Thieves. This team continues to surprise and delight here in the summer split. Up next, it's Clutch Gaming versus Optic Gaming. So we'll see who comes out on top when we return.
Certainly amazing, even sticking out of the brush.
Oh, no stealth shield.
There's the flash ulti, nails Apollo, amazing, under the turret they go. Apollo gonna burn the ulti after flashing away. The least expected Aphromoo gank is amazing though. Ooh, that was very fancy. Phoenix though is gonna burn the watch, puts the ulti down, but sniped by Ryu.
Here comes a bit of wedge.
Yep, kind of what we were thinking here. Solo just gonna pop the ulti and get himself killed by Bang.
Watch this guy.
That's fine.
I got him. All right, no flash. Azir has the base. Nice.
But it is too little, too late for Echo Fox, and that's been all 100 Thieves these last few games as Bang puts the finishing touches on the Nexus.
Yeah, got a pretty big fender bender here.
State Farm's got you covered, Mike.
That's great to hear, Robin. Everybody remain calm. We have this situation under control. We'll be out of here in a jiffy.
may say I have a grim sense of humor.
Thank you for joining us for Game 5, which has Clutch Gaming opposite Optic Gaming. Kobe, it's going to be a good day. We're going to close the week 6 out
Basically
strong.
time. Fast movements. All
right.
You feeling okay?
I'm feeling great. Time to go through the starting lineup. Selecting blue side, it is Clutch Gaming. In the top lane, Huni. In the jungle, Lyra. In mid, Demonte, bot Cody Sun, support Vulcan, and their coach, Artemis.
And preparing for battle on the red side, it is Optic Gaming. In the top lane, Dokla, jungle Meteos, mid Crown, bottom Arrow, support Big, and coaches Zabotine and Croissant on stage.
And for Optic Gaming, it is feeling disheartening to see them fall short in areas where they looked so strong in at the start of the split.
Yeah, I think so. Yesterday, we saw some uncoordinated team fights from them specifically. I mean, Crown did get some nice leads with the Azir in mid lane during lane phase. However, they did not transition well to those mid-game team fights, and some people were initiating at different times, and they were not in the same area and ready with the same goals. Now, a lot of the early wins for this team and how they got up to so many weekends tied for first place is with a split push style, specifically for Crown or sometimes Dokla into those side lanes and gaining territory that way. So maybe we'll see a return to that form.
And for Clutch, their wins do seem to come from having two sides of the map with different goals, and they rarely can show cohesion in those objectives.
Yeah, I mean, Huni, he always wants to pop off, right? Huni, as just a human being, always wants to be a star of whatever game he is playing. And I think that is a viable strategy for them. It's just that the bottom lane wants to scale up. The Cody Sun late game team fighting, more standard team fights with front to back feels a lot more comfortable for setups when he's in the lineup. So maybe Lyra will be the glue that kind of holds those two objectives together, combining the top side and the bottom side goals and bring the balance to Clutch's early game.
And certainly there's been quite a lot of disruption on the Clutch side. I mean, they tried moving Cody mid for that Zed game, which they said had been working well for them. Now their old head coach is gone. They brought up their academy coach as the new head coach. So Clutch are going through some stuff.
Coincidence? That mid! Who came up?
Well, we'll see what happens here. Optic, though, still in search of some wins. Will be tied to the Golden Guardians if they lose here. Clutch, I think, just trying to move things along steadily and find a little bit of consistency. So we'll see what the draft does bring us. Clutch have been, I think, the team most willing to make a lot of changes. We've seen them play Kiana already this weekend, but Sejuani, Nautilus, Karma, and Yumi will start things off. So the expected red side bans there for Optic, and a little bit more targeted here on the Clutch side. Aurelia is going to join the pool as well.
All right, let's see. Possibly top lane, possibly mid lane focus. We still have the Silas, we still have the Sejuani, we still have Lux and Sona as well. So quite a few things floating around here. See what Optic decide to take off the table. I would expect more bottom lane focus for them. The Cody Sun consistency down there has definitely been a problem for other teams, and it does come through. There's the Sona.
Yeah, just take that one out of the way. It does leave Lux open, so Clutch happily snap that one up. Now we'll see what Optic do in a take here. Again, a team that's kind of stuck to their game plan in a lot of ways. They've shown a lot of different looks for how to give Crown an advantage, but have struggled a little bit with overall consistency in the last few weeks. So not expecting anything too crazy, but you never know, at least later in the draft. For now, they will stick it nice and standard with Sejuani banned. Meteos will take Jarvan.
Yeah, I kind of expect Optic to save last pick for Crown specifically, have that counter pick. I mean, sometimes they have done it for Dokla, but they haven't played around Dokla quite as much. So we'll see if the early ones are just going to be jungle and maybe bottom lane focus lock-ins for them. Yes, sir.
Arrow on Siva, always a nice thing. And Arrow certainly had a much better split this go around. He and Big have actually been pretty good for the most part. Although again, total team consistency has dropped as they've taken more losses, but Siva is nice and safe and has a bit of insurance versus all the Lux bindings that you will be having flown at your face. Clutch though, gonna get the draft ball passed back over. And as clock ticks down, it is Rumble, that one.
Hoonie!
Probably the most expected pick on any Clutch draft.
Yeah, most people really associate Rumble with Mooney because he's had so many games on it and found so much success with it. We'll see if they can actually work well together with the Lux. You know, a lot of times if you combine somebody, then you get your free Rumble ultimate down. On top of it, Damonte already played a Kiana game. Did not go that well for them, but I like it if he retakes the challenge.
Hey!
Let's go.
All right. So I was going to say, Damonte, I think, has played Rumble in Academy in mid. So that actually is a flex, but they're just going to take the solo laners here. Damonte actually make it his third Kiana game of the week. He did have one win in Academy already, but this is what we expect from the top side of Clutch. Very, aggressive, very explosive from the solo laners.
And Kiana and Rumble actually work super well together. You know, AP damage later, AD scaling for later. Kiana actually scales, as far as her damage output, really well into the end game. The problem for her in the end game is always about survivability and choosing your moment to go in. So I would expect Clutch to round out their lineup with some hard CC initiators to make room for Kiana and Rumble. Those two champions, crazy damage output. However, they need structure in their fights to be able to lock people down. And Lux does have a binding, but it's not anything close to like a point and click or anything. So they're gonna need some setup for themselves. Twisted Fate once again will be locked in against the Kiana. We already saw previously, it's really good at finding Kiana in the side lanes, teleport over, go for ganks on her. Of course, the brush invisibility is not gonna do you a lot, but you do get move speed when you pop it, so maybe you can walk your way out the distance. Twisted Fate, regardless, was Crown's pick that he originally introduced or reintroduced to the LCS this season. Summer kind of started off with Crown being the first one to do it. Some AP builds, some AD builds for it as well. And he is one that really had success early on.
Well, bans are almost done here in phase 2. Silas and Lee Sin, so two good aggressive jungle options for Lyra off the board. Thresh and Aatrox, the two bans there for Clutch. So Dokla gonna lose the top laner and Big gonna lose something he's played as recently as yesterday there for Optic. Looks like they want to keep the bottom lane nice and stable and try and set Lyra up to get these solo lanes going. Kiana's gank assist is incredible. Rumble's overall damage output is great if you can help him set up. So certainly a lot of good targets for Lyra here. Tahm Kench can kind of shut things down, at least in the bottom half of the map. Very safe and defensive here for Optic.
All right, it also gives them quite a lot of map mobility. Optic, we talked about, will they return to a split map style of play to find their wins like they did early on? Twisted Fate definitely along those lines. It was, one of their early successes was Crown first bringing it out. If you also have Sivir speed for the rest of the team and the Abyssal Voyage from Tahm Kench, there are tons of options for splitting the map here for Optic. So this looks exactly like how they wanted to play the game when they were their most successful. Going to be difficult for Clutch. They do lock in some crowd control with the Rek'Sai. Later on, it's very hard to get that off though. And flash unburrow on one target is about as good as you're going to get. So Clutch are going to have to be very good with their skill shots and very quick with their timings.
And Lucian is the last pick. Certainly can be good in the later stages of the game when you have something like Yuumi able to power up the Lucian in the late game. But this is a much more aggressive, it feels like, from Clutch, especially the top half of the map. Like, you don't pick Rek'Sai and go Halo Blades when you're not trying to dominate the early game. And Optic say, you know what, that's nice. We'll just take a Z here. And that looks like TF's flexing his way around.
Oh, baby. Support Twisted Fate. Are they going to rotate it up to the top side? There it is. Dokla gonna try his hand at the Twisted Fate this time around. The long range into the Rumble matchup is gonna go a lot better. Plus, Twisted Fate can also have a default defensive pattern. Even if Rek'Sai, makes it difficult up there, Twisted Fate can focus on minions, wild cards, and blue cards, make it a lot safer. Problem is, though, if you get caught out in a long lane, there's no escapes for a Twisted Fate. So he'll have to be fairly careful, and very cognizant of all the vision they can put down.
Yeah, I thought we were going to get something a little bit more standard, but I am mistaken. Optic Gaming mixing things up with their last pick, willing to flex this TF all the way to top side. Coaches will shake hands, and it's been a fun draft. This is a nice way to close out week 6, Cody. We get some Kiana action once again. And yeah, we'll see what Dokla does with this top lane Twisted Fate.
Yeah, I mean, Big always is talking about how many champions he could play and how he's got all these spicy picks lined up. So I was hoping for a little bit more craziness.
Aatrox every game, and like,
but yeah, not going to be the case. All right, Kiana try number 2 for Damonte. Can he make it work on stage this time around? He's taking Ignite once again, looking for the burst damage. The Electrocute Kiana, huge potential, especially once you hit that level 6. And if you work around the jungle, looking for some of those walls to explode.
Yeah, if there was ever a champion you wanted to pair with an aggressive jungler, Kiana, it might be it. She's so good in the river when you can get skirmishes started. So again, expecting kind of the tale of 2 clutches to continue here, with the top half being very aggressive, although Cody is taking a little bit more panache there in the bot lane with the Lucian. But everyone's going to spread out. Meteos and Lyra will visit each other, and Meteos will give him the flag.
All right, message received, loud and clear. Do not pass the flag. Looks like Optic defensive opening here. I don't think they want any early sort of invade going on. What side will Lyra actually start on the red side? I would expect red buff here, and then maybe an early visit, jungling up through to the top side to try and attack this Twisted Fate. Make the Twisted Fate play much further back. It's kind of hard for TF sometimes, auto-pushing wave for both of these top lane champions.
Definitely curious to see how the matchup kind of plays out. Huni has played a lot of different champions top lane in his stage games in his career. So I wonder if this is something he's seen, but we'll see how it works out. Dokla right now going to help Meteos with his camp, and Lyra, as you expected, is going to start here on the red with help from Cody and Volker.
Jarvan's also getting a pull on the opposite red by Dokla, so Twisted Fate will be late to lane. If you look at what Huni's doing right now, you can kind of see on the mini-map up there, he groups up the minions so that they try and focus fire one down, try and get them to receive more damage, so Dokla will miss some by arriving late. But Dokla didn't give a full leash on the red buff. He comes up, he gets experience just in time, no harm, no foul. He picks up most of those last hits. Meanwhile, Meteos transitioning straight from buff to buff here. Might make an early look.
Not sure if he got spotted either, depending on the path he took to get there. We can see the ward at the mouth of top lane, but that's only, I think, now going to spot him. So he's actually looking top for a potential level 2 play. TF pretty good with pick a card at level 1, but Huni, of course, knows that Meteos is here, so he'll play back accordingly.
Yep, that ward, really good early defensive ward from Clutch Gaming. Once again, as we've seen very commonly, that early trinket ward, watching out for top side level 2 ganks. Is going to mean that Meteos wastes a few seconds there, but he got off the buff to buff start, and it's going to mean that Lyra now will basically split the map. Whenever you do have vision like this, it's going to be right down the middle, and you have Meteos up there on the top half, Lyra now taking over for the blue on the bottom side. Plus his bottom lane is pushed in, so it makes it very easy for him to continue on taking away these camps.
I think certainly a good decision in general for Optic here, because we are expecting Lyra to play so heavily towards his top half of the map. We'll see if that does change here. Vulcan and Cody-san, at least early on, getting the push started. In fact, they're up to 10 CS as this next wave is coming out. So the early push pressure and just the general strength of Lucian and Lux, certainly versus something like Tahm Kench and Sivir, is changing things up a bit in the bot lane for Clutch, and working out in the early game at least.
Damonte here, using WQ to get some CS for himself. Kiana doesn't want to take too much early damage on in lane. Does a pretty good job there, finishing up the CS. Lyra has had a much more efficient route clearing than Meteos because Meteos went for that gank. And Lyra has been able to get everything on the bottom half of the map, including this extra Scuttle Crab. So that will be a very nice start for the Rek'Sai.
Grab down. I guess of course took the one on the left, and he'll continue climbing through his rapids. We do see Damonte taking a recall because running pretty low on mana and did have the wave pushed up, so we'll grab 2 longswords and walk back to lane. Crown will likely take his base pretty soon as well. See how much the wave he can get pushed out, but he does have teleport in case he wants to move out instead. So in general, Optic looking to play a much slower first 15 minutes of this game. And while we are expecting Clutch to be more aggressive in the early stages of the game, they're not required to go all in at minute 4 or 5. But I'm expecting them to ramp up at some point, or maybe around something like a Rift Herald.
All right, a lot of that does depend on Lyra. As you can see on the mini-map, he's slipping into enemy territory right now. Both junglers are on a crash course for this tri-brush. Will he get a ping off the Rek'Sai passive? Not quite close enough, I believe.
And that's actually maybe enough info to mean Huni's too far forward. Stun card into the EQ. Huni tried to flash over it, but he couldn't quite clear the gap. But now towards Lyra he goes. Dokla is here. Huni gonna try and flame spit it down, and that's gonna force Dokla to commit his flash.
Great heads-up play there from Huni, trying to flash towards his jungler because he knows Lyra will be there to protect him if he could just get close enough, and ends up being a 1-for-1 flash, even though Midas was first one to the gank. Really making the best of a bad situation for themselves. Pushing the minion wave in as well. Might deny one minion.
And Dokla did have to use his summoner. In fact, commits both as he TPs back to the lane. And Damonte had the lane pushed in and was roaming towards the top side. So Optic very responsibly decided to back away from any potential re-engage in the 2v2. But, you know, certainly a first little successful play for both junglers. I wonder if there'll be any revisits top lane, given now that with no summoners, these are two pretty easy champions to pick off. And Meteos, once again, is first back to the area.
All right. Can Twisted Fate get close enough to land the gold card here? Huni has to be worried about those minion blocks. Meteos walking in, though, does see the control ward, and it is going to be a trade of vision.
That means Huni will likely play back. Lyra, as we can see, is back on clearing the rest of his red side jungle, so it's not available right now. And Meteos decides not to commit too much. In fact, Lyra is going to start up this Drake here, knowing that Meteos was just on the top half of the map, and his mid lane and bot lane are all pushing in.
Yeah, that's the big thing here. We have distinct recalls. Arrow just went for a reset on the Sivir, so he's walking back from base. That means Vulcan and Cody's son can head up here at the extra DPS as they've been destroying Arrow and Big in lane. They also get to earn the objective for the team. Mountain Drake will go over to Clutch.
I know that we heard from Vulcan like a week ago that Cody was the one voice of reason on the team, you know, the one saying no to maybe some of the more aggressive plays they've made. I guess the pressure of 4 other teammates has finally meant that Cody is playing a lot more aggressively. And as you mentioned, 22 CS ahead right now.
Yeah, the Luciano is so good into the Sivir, and Vulcan's been landing quite a few of those bindings, getting a lot of harassment down on Big and kind of whittling down at the possible answers here from Arrow and Big, but it has really resulted in some success here. Traditionally, people used to seeing Cody's son on those super high scaling champions like the Jinx, like the Sivir, but this Lucian, a lot more early game power in lane, and they are putting it to work.
Let's see if Clutch maybe even swapping over to playing everyone being aggressive, but for now, first blood still on the table, and that first bonus tower gold also up. Certainly lots to play for here as Meteos hanging out in the top half once again.
Got him.
Equalizer down. Dokla just going to try and get counter-killed here by Huni, but the burn is pretty significant. Huni's still kiting away, but Lyra actually going to arrive maybe in time for one card to find the snipe, though.
Huni. Sometimes it's kind of hard to dodge those wild cards as they're spreading out, and he walks into the lower third of them. Cut down on the end, almost was able to get out as once again Lyra tried to head up there to turn it around. Lyra actually, he's looking at a 2v1 before he went back to this replay. Let's take another look at it. Big thing about Rumble is the counter damage. You have to watch out. Dokla is in risk of getting barbecued here. Huni though walks away, can't quite find the move speed to dodge the middle card there. And in the end, kill for Optic. That is first blood. And they finally cash in on their attention towards the top half.
Yep, Meteos is rewarded for all his persistence there in the top lane. Crown, of course, is kind of busy farming things up, but he feels just fine. Damonte not really able to apply too much pressure, although he is at least pushing the lane and trying to get things moved out. It does seem like this success story is still here in the bottom half of the lane for Clutch, as Cody still sitting about 20 CS ahead as the waves will be traded. Not to mention the early Mountain Drake that they kind of got from the resulting pressure. The one death for Huni, not too bad. He's certainly seen worse games, but I wonder how much more attention Meteos is willing to pay here.
Yeah, and he's doing a lot of work here after pushing up the minion wave gets those deep wards in for himself to get some more information for the side of Clutch. See if that pays some dividends. Meteos now back down to the bottom half of the map. This has been the area that Clutch has had a stranglehold on, though, with the power of the bottom lane. And now Damonte being level 8 on the Kiana has first serrated Dirk for the lethality. This jungle is very dangerous territory for her. First damage from Kiana is huge if you can reset the passive. Whoa, binding does land.
Yep, gonna get the ulti out. Lyra actually just moving far enough forward to force Crown to commit the cooldown. And again, with Drake coming up in a minute 50, may open up more room here on Clutch for the bottom side.
Monte has water elements and is walking in towards the jungle. Can he find Meteos?
Again, EQ targeting root. There's free display of talent. Finds the stun on the wraparound, and Damonte able to grab the kill.
Yep, just as you say, you can cast the Elemental Wrath during the Audacity. Heads in with the water element. EQ, full burst damage. And just for good measure, Hooney's going to add Element of Fire, which Kiana doesn't traditionally have control of. So they've got all of them. And they've got Captain Planet here, taking down Meteos.
All right, well, Hooney gonna move back to the top lane and actually keep up a pretty healthy CS lead for himself. So did not cost himself too much to make this little roam down.
There we go, Damonte sneaks around, no reaction time there. Really good Rumble ultimate. And look at that. When you're in the Raptor pit, there's no way to get away from Kiana ultimate. I mean, people looked at it initially and they're like, oh, the explosion's not that long. Maybe Crown here is under attack though. Let's pause the moment.
Damonte low. Lyra looking to try and find the execute. Vulcan with the binding, but stasis up by Crown. They'll keep it going though, and Damonte able to find the execute. That's kill number 2.
Vulcan comes over to add his power with the roam. Lyra plus Vulcan attacking mid lane. They take down Crown. They get the flash. These are back-to-back big plays for Clutch Gaming. They're slightly ahead in gold now, despite giving up that first blood on the top half of the map.
And Ghostblade done there for Damonte in mid. Essence Reaver done for Cody there in bottom lane, actually going that first here, so maybe more of a crit-focused Lucian build.
This is going to be a pretty fun one, Pastry. Already 2 kills over to the Kiana. This is funding the lethality build very quickly, and that stacks up. There's so many members liable to get bursted down from 100 to 0. If you're even halfway close to a wall, the Kiana ultimate has a very good knockback range. See if he can get anyone.
Meteos is out of there. That Q just barely missing, actually. Meteos able to close the gap, but Damonte's still in. Uni again able to find the ultimate. That's going to force Meteos to burn the summoner. Damonte just dashes back over the wall. Clutch still here and looking strong.
Should be able to start this up as well. Ward goes down. Optic pushing mid lane. So Optic are trying to get those minions mid lane. In answer here, Twisted Fate ultimate used as well for Vision.
Gotta be careful fighting Kiana in the river, especially in either the Rift Herald or Drake bit. But for now, Clutch actually forced to back away. Zokla burn the ulti for a bit of vision. There's also a crab up blocking some of these potential skill shots. And the Rift Herald battle is going. Clutch TP in. Crown maybe gonna make the play. Herald over to Lyra, managed to find the smite.
Can he get...
All right, so binding into Culling, does find the Devour for big, and kind of the stand-up for Herald goes to Clutch, and everybody else walks away.
Actually a pretty funny interaction there. And in the end, Lyra does pick it up, gets the recall off. It's a full reset. Optic will take the Constellation prize, though. Meteos, Arrow, Big, all heading over to the Mountain Drake. Will they be able to finish it up before the rest of Clutch arrive? Vulcan will try his hand at the snipe.
Lyra here actually in time to try and steal if he wants to.
Control ward's in the back there, so Clutch Gaming do have vision.
Again, they keep fighting. Damonte back to the river with the ice element ready. Lyra goes in, he steals the Drake. And they might just keep going for the fight. Flash there from Hooney into the slow from the Electro Harpoon, and Arrow going to force the heal to try and get his way out of there. Damonte zooms in, finds the wraparound ulti. What a stun onto Arrow on the other side. And now Big's forced back under the turret as well.
Oh, that was actually sick, and they're not done.
Hooney still going, finds the flame spin of damage. Not quite enough. Hooney will pay the price. But Crown into stasis, knocked up by Lyra, devoured by Big, and now he's into stasis. But Vulcan times the binding well, and Lyra finishes off the kill.
Oh, Damonte's getting a plate during all the action, pushing up the mid wave, but the extra kill does, in the end, go over. Clutch Gaming racking up the money here. Meteos doesn't want to go in, risk his life to stop that Rift Herald. In any case, Clutch will get this tower. Top side is the one thing here for Optic. They do have Dokla up there. He'll be able to finish up that top turret. But mid has been taken down, and so is bottom in the favor of Clutch.
So all the pressure that the bot lane builds up gives Cody room to finish up the tower. Dokla does get the trade, but first turret gold and plates over to Clutch as we'll watch this play again.
All right, let's take a look here, because this is going to be Lyra going in. Smite test number 2. He passes with flying colors. Meteor slides on the way out. Actually, yeah, we can't really trust the cooldown timers on those ones, but in the end, this is the cool part. Damonte into the wall, uses the ultimate over around to be able to get the Sivir as well, since the entire wall is going to explode. And then Hootie wants to continue this. He's going straight for Big, tags him with the end of the equalizer. That's not going to be enough as Crown pushes him under the turret. However, Big comes out to save Crown, and then the shots go through. Binding lands, Lear's able to add the extra damage, and we're back out to live.
Counter push though here from Optic. May yield them another turret. Actually a pretty quick equalizer of the structures as Hootie uses ulti to burn down the wave, but can't quite grab them all. There were a few too many. Looks like Arrow and Big will be able to finish off this turret in short time. Kiana, though, trading there for Damonte on the top half of the map, so Clutch continue to apply that pressure, and they're up about 2,000 gold, looking not to slow things down too much here.
Yeah, they've got full control here. Look how deep these wards are that they're able to get into Optic's territory. Biggest strength there for Kiana is going to be controlling all of these neutral objectives. You love getting an early lead on Kiana because not only can you get this deep vision in the jungle since you're so dangerous there with all the walls wrapping around, but the Infernal Drake coming up next is a really good sign for Clutch Gaming, trying to continue to snowball this. That is a further damage amp, not only for the AD Assassin, but literally every single champion on this team. These are all offensive builds. These are all champions that will get huge rewards out of the AD and AP amp of an Infernal Drake. So it's perfect fuel to the Clutch Gaming fire. Optic have to be fairly worried about contesting it as well. The biggest thing is, whenever you walk into the river versus Kiana, you know, the ultimate not only does it explode around walls, but she can explode water for some reason. And you have to be really worried about everyone getting caught in that.
All right, well, Cody also is maybe not so quietly crept up alongside Vulcan to a very significant lead of his own. It does seem like he's going for more Reaver into perhaps IE. So again, wanting to be a bit more of the insurance policy, even on the Lucian, could not commit to something like Blade of the Ruined King, Black Cleaver. It's still Cody's son after all.
It definitely is. Going for the high DPS Lucian, crit build coming through. You still have low range, so it's a fairly risky playstyle still, but with this Clutch Gaming lineup, they're all low range, high damage champions, save for the Lux, so everybody will have the same game plan. It's kind of what you alluded to earlier, Patient Time, with everybody punching their ticket here to the offensive style, everybody buying in and having alignment around this aggressive look for Clutch.
And Leandri's plus hook shoots there for Huni. Double lethality now as Damonte has finished up his Duskblade. And Cody just looking good in general with the early Reaper means that this Drake up in 40 seconds is all Clutch Gaming's for the taking.
Yeah, we got plenty of stopwatches too. There is one on the side of Clutch for Kiana, so Damonte with all the damage is going to have an opportunity to make a really big play than stopwatch, but also there are 3 on the side of Optic. Dokla, Meteos, and Crown all will have stasis for this team fight. Here we go.
Watch Damonte on the side here again. They're trying to find the flank, but a good engage there by Optic. Does get the shutdown onto Cody still to bring his play of talent. But the massive around the bush there in mid. Dokla gonna get burnt down. Crown almost sniped off by Vulcan, and they may have got Cody, but it cost them everything.
Yep, Crown. Can he get his way out? 3v1! Kaboom!
Damonte gonna push the wave. The rest of Clutch will go to the Drake and Optic. They found their one pick, but it doesn't seem worth it. Big, I think, the only survivor, as they'll lose objectives as well.
All right, take another look. Optic. They pop the speed. Dokla flashes in, gold card, and Cody's son is gone. However, immediately afterwards, Damonte slips in and seemingly annihilates Arrow all by himself, then stuns up literally every single surviving member of Optic with that ultimate. This small pathway through the jungle, he's able to line it up and cause absolute destruction here. Then Crown, nowhere to go, tries to fight his way out, but isn't able to get anything done for himself. And the Infernal Drake was picked up in the aftermath while we were in that replay. So it's going to be Clutch Gaming full steam ahead.
Yep, 3,000 gold ahead now, plus those 3 Elemental Drakes as Clutch continue to put their foot on the gas. There is a Baron up in 30 seconds, so Clutch can start to play around the other side of the map for the objective there as well. But opening up the outer ring, just wanting to get those minions and vision pushed deeper into Optic's territory. As Optic just sticking around mid, trying to open up a little more of the map for themselves. Culling, after binding though onto Meteos, forces him to flag and drag away. And Damonte ever just finding himself into a side lane and can't really 1v1 Kiana at this point, especially given how much control Clutch have. So kind of 3-lane pressure, everything going Clutch's way after this early game.
Yeah, let's see if they can move in now. Red buff is up. I feel like you should contest all jungle objectives when you have this sort of lead with the Kiana. Meteos is trying to take it away though before they can get there. The wards have been cleared out. He's getting a little antsy around it, but they get it and they hand it over to Arrow. That is definitely a positive here for Optic, getting this one off the table. Lyra lying in wait though.
Not enough vision to maybe feel confident there. But Damonte also just hiding in a bit of brush, but we'll back away and clear out the rest of this wave. This Clutch just continue to try and apply as much pressure as they can topside. Dokla, I guess for the Optic side, is starting to kind of get to the point where he can maybe split push here. He's in a long lane in bottom half. He does have Trinity Force and the Rapid Fire Cannon already done. So with free time, he will do a great job at knocking down these structures. But I think Huni, more than enough of a challenge if it's just a 1v1. And again, Optic don't have really anything else under control for whatever lane the TF is in.
Yeah, teleports available for both Huni and Dokla as well on the bottom side. So if any of these vision wars here up around Baron do spark confrontation, they will be able to join. Azir here for Crown, trying to hold the mid wave. Can't put up the turret, but gets hit with the binding.
Nice bind. Crown also zips away from the culling, but 2 ultis and a lot of poke onto the Azir. See how aggressive Clutch want to be in the left-hand side of the map. Continuing to move through and try and sweep out that vision. Damonte will take down that control ward next to the red buff. There is one next to the Raptors that we can see, but not able to push in quite that far just yet. Also money to spend. Ooh. Destiny will reveal the 2, but they will get recall off in time. And Cody did have enough dosh to grab the IE, which he has now finished.
You know, taking this opportunity because they use Twisted Fate ultimate. They know nobody's around here to punish, and they can slip in, take out that important control ward inside the Baron. It's very critical for Optic to keep this vision up. It's a double Mountain Drake side of Clutch Gaming, so even though they don't have a tank for Baron, they have so much damage that if you leave it unattended, they will be able to burst it down without having to worry too much about sustaining damage from it and tanking. And Lyra's now starting to get some armor, so it might be an option.
Damonte going in, but Big and Crown already there. Damonte forced to flash away. He'll zip back, he'll get the root, he'll find the ulti and get the double stun, but the stasis only going to keep him alive for so long as Crown does find the shutdown. Now Huni over the top, there's the equalizer. Huni flashing in. We're going to try and take down Big. He does burn him down, and the rest of Clutch collapse. Cody shoots down Crown. Dokla going to be left for dead as he does find the gold card. The wild card's in, but not enough to get the kill as Cody nabs the double.
Well, that is definitely going to be a Baron. Double Mountain Drakes over here for Clutch Gaming. They get 4 members of Optic in that team fight, and Baron will be their reward.
Clear out the vision. Meteos not up for 5 more seconds, and Arrow not in the area to try and steal, so Clutch continue to grow their lead and take down Baron #1.
Control of the jungle pays off. They're lying in wait for Meteos. So on the right side of the screen, Meteos in a 3v1, he goes down. Left side of your screen, Damonte in a 2v1, he goes down. But he did significant damage to Big and took down the Grey Health. So when Huni arrives, he can focus on the Azir, force out the Devour, then get the kill onto Big. And with the shield there from Vulcan, Lux lands both parts of it on Huni, allowing him to stick around with just a sliver of HP to survive, stick around for the Baron.
And Damonte even going to grab the extra Dirk there. Looks like maybe Edge of Night actually going to be the item. Kind of see Black Cleaver, GA. Edge of Night is kind of your options after your first to lethality items, but Damonte is all about getting these kills. Going for maximum assassination right now. Forward stuff done for Huni, so he's doing even more damage with that ultimate. And with the Baron, Clutch able to easily siege down a few more turrets, up about 6,000 gold, trying to extend their lead as long as they can possibly make it.
Yeah, I think they need to make the most of this Baron. It's very critical to push ahead when you are a shorter range team like this with the early lead that you cannot give up. You're facing an Azir Sivir scaling squad, so you need to keep taking towers. Don't take time off for this dragon. A lot of teams would be baited in to going and getting the free Mountain Drake right there, but you need to use every second of the Baron to take down Optic's defenses. All that really matters is this Clutch Gaming taking down the inhibitor turrets. If they can do that, then you get to effectively use the rest of your team comp, and you can get inside to actually win the game.
Of note, Damonte did not get Baron buff because he was dead after they picked it up. They're not able to apply it to this top wave that he has been pushing out, but still Clutch enough room to take down the tier 2 there in that lane. You need to keep applying that pressure. There are only 90 seconds left to try and get one of these inhibitor turrets, and they are taking a quick reset now.
Yeah, I mean, even though they do have a nice 6,000 gold lead, I would like to see them try and at least get significant damage on one of these inhibitor turrets. Looks like they are just going to back off for the Mountain Drake, though, and be content to control the majority of the map. Baron buff, last minute. See if they can actually make it work. I don't think they're going to get in place for too much of the damage. One more minion wave after the current one does arrive at turrets.
And I think just leaning on how strong and how much of a foothold they have on this map, we've talked for years about how good Rumble ulti is at objectives. Clutch may well have drafted the two best ultimates at trying to take down something in a pit. Both Kiana and Rumble add significant damage, pressure, and overall control when you're fighting in the river especially. So I think Clutch slowing them things down just a little bit here. This Baron is enough to at least get the third tier 2 turret, excuse me, 6th overall. So Clutch kind of got everything they expected to get out of this Baron. We'll see if they push in for a little bit more gear. Nice ulti there by Huni, actually going to be comboed in by Vulcan, calling down for Cody as well, and that might be enough space to knock down this turret, but Optic's still somewhat healthy.
Yeah, Optic's main goal is keep their inhibitor turrets up. If they can buy time for Sivir and Azir to farm, then they can hold hope. Clutch Gaming, Baron does time out.
Not as many angles here for the rest of these ultis. Equalizes down. Well, they are still pushing in. Ghostblade popped by Damonte. But Optic, pretty good wave clear between the TF, the Azir, and the Sivir. So tough without Baron for Clutch to really crack that turret. So I think they'll realize the same thing and just back off. Go spin their gold and set up for this next Baron. That really is the next big objective for Clutch Gaming.
I think that's decent for Optic, buying themselves another 2 minutes till the Baron spawns. So I think they can just funnel as much, oh, we missed the cannon there. You want to funnel as much money as possible onto this Sivir and Azir right now, because you only have until the Baron spawns before Clutch are going to make their next move. Actually, they're making it now!
Yeah, Cody overstayed his welcome and will be shut down by Dokla for it.
That's why we're cautioning against taking a slower approach in this situation. Clutch Gaming will get outscaled if the game goes too long. And Optic here gets some money back for themselves, picking off Cody-san, buying some time to also set up possible vision leading up to the Baron, maybe making it a little bit less dangerous for themselves.
I mean, don't have to be left alone for long to kill Baron. They have triple Mountain and an Infernal Drake. So objectives, once they can get their little bit of free time, will absolutely evaporate. But Optic are starting to build up strength. We have Crown with 3 items, Arrow on the precipice of finishing his 3rd, and Dokla already has 3 done. Time may be running out here for Clutch. TP in though from Cody, I believe. Huni with the ulti. They're going to commit Damonte with a big flank. Going to try and make it happen against the wall. Needs to find the angle, finds the ulti. No, that's just Huni. Excuse me, Huni flashing in, going to force Dokla's flash. Clutch still chasing, but they haven't got a kill just yet. Big barely lives that execute damage.
Yeah, that's why Damonte's going for all the lethality items. Big damage coming from the Kiana. No kills, and Optic still surviving. Now, Clutch Gaming, they have such a big lead right now. This Baron should be theirs. You know, 3 mountains, plenty of damage to work with. So should be able to pick that one up and then march in to finish the job. They don't want to let Optic get to a 50-minute game. It's definitely a long road ahead of Optic, but Clutch Gaming might try and catch them if they check.
There's the ulti. They need to get the TF ult down. But again, looking for the snipe is Vulcan. Huni's ult not quite back off cooldown. Damonte has his. Cody as well for a bit of extra poke. Meteor Steno is back away, so they are going to spring the trap on the Baron.
There they go.
Oh my god, it dies so quickly.
All right, what are Optic trying to get? Are they actually trying to get that turret in mid? I don't know if they have time. Crown's almost committed for it. It does go down to the minions, and they want to slink away with their prize really quickly. Optic now just want to reset, get back inside their defenses. Another Infernal Drake spawning is great news for Clutch Gaming. Adding some more firepower here to finish out the game. See if they can use this Baron buff, number 2, to actually break the base.
And for an update on Damonte, it is maximum armor shred today. Last Whisper is item number 4, so really just trying to destroy their health bars as quick as he possibly can. 30 seconds till the Infernal you mentioned is up and available. We'll see if Clutch do grab it before committing to the Siege, or if they just maximize their time with the Baron buff.
Red buff definitely should be given up there by Optic. You do not want to fight this team in the jungle. Obviously, Kiana's kit is built around it, but Rumble makes it very easy for Huni to land equalizers as well. So jungle is the most dangerous territory, and Optic should only be defending their turrets. Number 1 mode right now is defense. They're trying to wave clear with the Azir, with the Sivir. Here comes Clutch, though, right up to the turret. 50% HP left on it.
I like this trade, though, from Clutch. Lyra saying, you know what, let me just get the push in. If he's tying up Crown,
they're going for it.
Kind of the big damage dealer here on Optic. That's great news for Clutch. They will break the top inhib turret. This inhib will likely fall after as well. Cody sticks around for the last few shots and does double tap the structure down. And now the rest of Clutch swing back around mid. Lyra already had the wave prepared earlier. Huni with a big ulti. Meteor's going to try and trap him in the cage. Vulcan with an ulti doesn't quite find the execute, but Arrow getting shut down. No, he actually shuts down Huni and barely escapes the culling, but Damonte finds the wraparound stun, nails Dokler and finds the assassination, and that's enough strength for Clutch to keep on trucking.
Yeah, that should be it. Clutch Gaming takedown inhibitor number 2. They're transitioning to bottom side. There's no minion, so they're slowly taking down the turret, and Crown chases them out. But they've got Baron to buff up these minions. Minute and a half left on that. They can keep up the pressure.
Oh, what a binding by Vulcan, but Crown goes in for the play. Now stuck in the front side of the rest of Clutch with big fight to devour. Damonte, though, says absolutely not. Assassinates big. Cody slays Crown, and Arrow is trying to fight his way out, but he can only stop watch and watch the rest of his health disappear as Damonte finds a double. Clutch break through the bottom half of the map, and looks like they'll find victory here versus Optic. It's only Meteos to watch the fireworks sparkle around the Nexus. They'll take the last inhib just in case. Huni will TP back in to try and finish it off, and Dokler on the respawn maybe can buy enough time. But Meteor's burning low. The first Nexus turret dies. The second one will fall, and Dokler will just watch it all happen. Equalizer down, next kill through, and that Nexus exposes. Clutch will pick up the victory over Optic. And I think finally, Kobe, that is the explosiveness we were asking for from Clutch. Everyone committed to playing more aggressive. The lead in bottom lane, Damonte running back the Kiana. And I feel like finally, all 5 players came together.
All 5 players commit to the aggressive game plan. They finish out strong with Baron number 2 as well. And Clutch Gaming find their success here. Damonte on Kiana, round 2, is able to find it. They finish out strong with Baron number 2 as well. And Clutch Gaming find their success here. Damonte on Kiana, round 2, is able to find it. Gets the early kills, funds the lethality. And got some big ultimates as well.
I also think Lyra maybe undersung in this game, you know, taking a champion that has a lot of risk. You need to get the early game going, but 2-0 and 10 participated in most of the 18 kills that Clutch racked up that game, and much more consistent performance. I mean, it was in the right place at the right time, set up some nice opportunities, and overall, Clutch just got their lead, moved their vision forward, and quickly but very methodically felt like they played out this game.
Yeah, able to use their objective control really effectively, stacking that one, controlled all the elemental drakes the entire game, and were able to make the roams work for themselves as well.
It just feels like, again, I wonder, what does Clutch do now, given what they've shown? Do they
More
keep,
Kiana!
Yeah, I mean, absolutely more Kiana, but do they keep giving Cody more aggressive champion? Do they have other styles? I think it has been a rough road for Clutch, so finding this clean of a win against a team that at the start of the season did look very strong has to feel pretty good.
I like the win lane, win game style,
Same.
so I think keep going with that.
All right, well, to wrap up the LCS before the Academy Showcase, let's head over to Freak. It's time for LCS Cooldown.
Thank you very much, Pastry. Great cast of the day. Hello, everyone. Welcome to LCS Cooldown. I am Freak. This is Azael. We got Fake God and Amazing of 100 Thieves with a 2-0 week. Ooh. How's it feel to clap back?
You can take the one.
What? No,
I mean, okay, I can't use
This is a good start.
It feels pretty good. It feels pretty good. Like, I don't know. Honestly, I didn't expect to go 0-2 the week before.
Sure.
I kind of thought we'd at least like tie with either Liquid or with TSM.
You'd tie with them.
I mean,
EU
okay,
Heritage,
1-1.
I understand.
Okay,
yeah.
Best of two.
Yeah,
I'm used to EU, so the whole tank part is like a thing. But no, I want to go 1-1 against them. I really feel like we're on the verge to become like a really good team, and I think against worse opponents, we actually have pretty clean games, and I'm pretty happy with that.
So I'm gonna put you on the spot. So you're in 7th in the standings, but if you were expecting to beat, TL or TSM, how good do you actually think your team is then? Are you top 3? Are you top 2?
We're not top 3. We're 4-6 right now.
4-6?
4-6?
Yeah.
Which of the teams in 4-6 then are you going to pass? TSM, CLG, Optic, Golden Guardians. Which ones are going to drop?
Optic, for sure.
Optic's the one dropping?
Optic, for sure. I mean, we started off the split a bit too bad to reach for the stars right now, but I think we can land on the moon, so.
Fake God, you landing on the moon?
How inspirational.
I'm just cruising right now, but I don't want to be cruising for the entire split, I guess.
Okay.
Because right now I'm just going
You're
even.
Them.
At best,
Every
I'm
game.
going even.
Yeah. It's a split top, but thankfully your bot lane can lane, so it's fine, basically. That's beautiful. So every week, as with every week before this one, we're highlighting the best performer from these 2 days of play and naming them Player of the Week. This time, that title does go to a bot laner in Team Liquid's Double Lift is our Player of the Week this time around. I do want to point out, Amazing, you are our runner-up. You were almost Player of the Week, but we just figured, TL, it's just they're better than you, so they get the title instead.
So, it's fine if it had to be someone. It had to be Double Lift, I think. Giving him the title of Player of the Week is fine. No, he's one of the players that I'm still impressed by because of his longevity, but also just the way he still has a drive to win within that moment. He doesn't never lets an opponent down, and when he sees an opportunity, he flashes in. He doesn't care, and he will make the play for the team, which is something a lot of AD carries don't do.
Yeah, and I mean, as much as TL has gotten a lot of wins with Sona, it's nice to see him playing Marksman. Like, he had 2 absolutely blasting games, Xayah, and then they played the Caitlyn Lux today, and they slam lane both games. So definitely deserving, but I thought you guys played really, really well this weekend as well. So, it's got to be feeling pretty good to be getting, I think, a lot of recognition for having kind of turned around your season.
Yeah, of course. You never want to be on the losing side, and especially with the roster swaps, it was almost dangerous for us to do that because, when you have a roster that's working a certain way and then you keep playing that, you at least know what your limits are and you're comfortable with that setting. But revamping it, bringing Aaron in and then bringing Rio in, really shaped things up. So I'm happy with that.
That's good.
How does it feel to be part of the solution?
The solution?
Yeah.
Feels okay.
Feels okay.
It's okay.
It's you said I'm part of the solution, but I just feel like maybe not at that level. I'm just normal.
You solve the input issues, That's what you solve.
You're not the
all the issues.
You're not the problem. That's true. Not the problem is a big thing.
That's the first step.
Yeah, I'm not the problem. I'm not the solution. I feel like.
But you'll eventually solve it, and then you'll be the solution, and then you'll just be 1v9ing every game. We'll give you one split, and then that's like LCS finals. You beat every solution.
All
right. That's the timer for you.
That's the plan.
All right, beautiful. At Worlds, he's going to win. He's going to 1v5. It's going to be great. IG's got no chance. So, of course, we're joined by an extreme veteran in Amazing and one of our newest pros in the league as well in Fake God. And so we want to take this opportunity to get different perspectives on LCS and pro play in general. We have a couple questions prepared for you. And so I'm kind of intrigued by this. So, Fake God, to start with you, being sort of new to the pro scene on the big stage, what's the best part of being an LCS player so far?
The best part is that the stakes are a lot higher. So when you win, it feels a lot better. So when I was in academy, it was like, we won. Yay. And then LCS, it's like, whoa,
That sounds super.
high fives.
Yeah.
And then it's like
Screaming crowd.
It's a lot bigger, I guess.
That's cool.
And that's pretty good, I think.
And for you, you're on like year 6 or so of LCS play. So, what's the best part of being an LCS player?
The money? No.
Great. Okay.
No, it's more about just the experience that I can gain. Because like, I've been on so many teams now that I know so many people, and just getting to know like people from different cultures, people from different like backgrounds, and like getting together as a team is such a good feeling, and especially when it works. Like that experience is something that no other job I think can give.
Yeah, I mean, like being in esports for so long now, it's like it's super incredible and like really unique and fun. So flipping it around then, and back to you again, Fake God. What's the worst part now being an LCS player?
The worst part is when you're losing.
The stakes are a bit higher, so when you lose, it feels really bad.
When I lose, I have to not look at social media for a little.
Don't get blamed on Twitter.
Yeah.
My pride is my ego is very small, so I have to make sure I don't look at the hateful comments.
That's fair.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay, that was kind of a joke, but not really.
No, I mean, it
was
makes
like
sense.
it was had some truth to it.
Sure.
'Cause
okay.
when you lose, it does feel a lot worse, and you don't really want to look at anything for a little bit.
I've always found that people are so extreme in the comments as well, right? Like I played WoW professional for many years, and it was so funny. I remember first time I ever went to, I won, and I got all these great comments online, and I was reading it. I was like, oh, all these people are so smart. I'm so great. Went to the next tournament. We got second place, and people shit on me. Everyone's like, he's the worst player. He's the reason they lost. So I was like, oh no. It's definitely people are extreme in the positivity and the negativity. There's like not a lot of, you did pretty well, or that wasn't so bad, you know?
How did you go down 10 CS this matchup? Garbage player.
Yeah, exactly.
Why don't you see ganks coming?
Yeah.
Speaking of ganks, Maurice, what's the worst part of being an LCS player?
I guess how short the season actually is. So I actually don't like that we have 2 splits right now. I mean, it's just like how every league works though. But it's like, you have 18 games only, and what do you do with the rest of the year, you know? Like,
Oh, the solution is make playoffs.
yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, like, for some teams, like, if I was, for example, a bottom feeder, if I was on a bottom feeder, which we obviously aren't anymore, like,
Obviously.
it would be really depressing. And I think it's more about, like, that the competition, like, kind of amps you up so much that like, you're so in the moment, and suddenly like, the season drops, and you're like, what do I do with my life? And it's really hard to drop that structure and then get used to something that's within that moment.
So you would actually want like year round?
Not
like,
a year round,
no
like
break.
10 months. 10 months.
10 months?
Yeah, 10 months is a good time.
And find a way to like have the non-playoff teams like do things even like when Worlds and stuff like that is happening.
Yeah, I mean, especially like, that would be good, for example. And if you have a longer season 2, then the whole subsystem would kind of come in, and then you don't actually have to play every single game. And if you need a break, then you can actually like give
the time off. Actually, is the worst part, basically.
Yeah, I think so. Actually.
Wow, what a player! Loves his job.
Yeah, I mean, I love my job too. I'm thankful I get to go to Worlds, which is great. But so I got a couple more things that I think are interesting because you have such different answers. It's actually really compelling. What surprised you the most now that you've become pro and you're playing every day and you're with the team every time?
Surprised me?
Yeah, what's surprising about your transition into pro? What did you not expect to happen?
Oh, I didn't expect to meet such big names at the beginning, because it was like 100 Thieves Academy.
Yeah.
And then, but the main team had like Someday and Bang and some other players.
What? So were you a little starstruck then, playing with some of the players?
It was interesting because it was like I've heard of them, and then I've seen them, and it's like, oh, they're there, and then it's like, oh.
Yeah.
It's
weird, like meeting world champions in person because we don't have any of those normally. And you're like, oh, wow, you're really good at League of Legends. Yeah. Does anything still surprise you?
What surprised me? How different and similar, like, I mean, how different, like, all the pro players still are, even if they have played for a long while, and how similar they still, like, some still are. So it's like, it's a weird mixture, right? Like, you see, like, the differences in, like, culture and, like, what I talked about earlier, but then you see, like, the similar drive, especially in veterans, like, how similar veterans are when it comes to actually winning the game, you know? Like, there's a reason why they're sticking around, and especially on our team, like, now we have Zach, we have Rio, and then we have Bang, who are all basically veterans, including me. And it's just like, as soon as we load into a game, especially on stage, like how hyped everyone still gets, you know, like, that's a heartwarming feeling.
Great. Well, awesome to hear sort of your perspectives, and of course, as you get more veteran, I'm intrigued to see like what your perspectives kind of change, what continues to surprise you, what continues to excite you. But winning, I think, probably always positive. We're gonna go to our next segment though and take a look at some different clips from Pro Play. Now, Fake God, for those who have not heard the origin of your screen name, why'd you use the screen name Fake God?
Oh God.
Because I was making a new account, I think, or like having a name change, and then I decided to try Faker is God. That was taken. And then I tried Faker God. I think that was taken too. And my friend was like, just do Fake God. I was like, oh, okay, sure. And then I just stuck with it for like the entire league career, I guess.
Well, much like Faker, in your first year of Pro Play, you will make Worlds and maybe win a championship. So I think we're on the road to that one. And speaking of Fake God versus Faker, we have 3 clips we're going to play. From clips that have been played in Pro Play. Amazing and everyone else at home are going to guess. 2 clips are Fake God, 1 is Faker. And we're gonna roll them out right here. At the end of the 3, we're gonna figure out which ones were which. So we've got to dive with the Rift Herald in the mid lane.
That was in Pro Play, right?
Yeah. I think so. Maybe the solo queue, actually. All right, we've got a sick recall. And this is the one.
So this is
either is it solo queue or
this is who knows? It's you or Faker.
Anything.
And it's for Amazing to guess, because obviously you would know if it was you.
Yeah.
So the sick Yumi play. Oh wow.
Oh,
that was actually sick.
I know.
Oh, you know?
Well, you know
No,
because you
don't
either
tell me.
did this or
Don't
you
tell
didn't
me.
do it. So it's
Don't
really
tell me.
amazing to think about it. So that's our Nico clip. Nico
Yeah.
saved the game. Wait, but okay, then dies. But all right, Fake God wouldn't die there. So clearly it has to be.
Maybe-
Faker.
Actually, no, I actually think I recognize this game as well. I feel like I've seen this. But maybe I haven't. But it seems.
Wait, no, it's a. Wait.
Okay, now it's time for round 2.
Okay.
And it's the
Okay,
Jace.
so it's the Jays.
Madness lurks below.
Let's do this. This is where Draven shines.
All right. Is this Faker or Fake God? As Jace is getting ganked.
Man, this
in
is
top
hard
lane.
to tell.
Not the best shot play. Oh wait, that's a good release
Wait,
though.
you both died.
Wait, there's so many mechanics though.
Wait,
Wait, there's a Pantheon.
What is that?
I mean, wait, but okay, that was sick.
Got
See,
it.
that was nice.
It was awarded. It was a fadeaway though.
All right.
Number 3. Who are we looking at?
This one.
Okay.
Karma on the far right.
Yeah.
Faker or Fake God?
Oh, that's
Oh my god.
He's like already. It's like, all right. House Flash engage, sets it up for it. Okay.
Not a lot going on here.
Well, Karma has shields, gonna chase down this.
So far, I missed Q and then you killed it.
Also, someone's playing Shaco.
Oh, you killed that box.
Wow. Oh, and wait, and the Mordekaiser.
Oh, that's Aaron.
Dodging every skill shot. Look at these mechanics.
That's Aaron.
Oh, wait,
It's the
you
death round.
boost
It's the
the
death
bush-
round.
Oh,
The
no.
Book Flash. Wait, that's a Baron.
Is he that smart?
Oh, you
Look at this kiting.
kite this out and kill this guy?
Oh, this is probably 2 kills, yeah. Oh, just kidding, it's not. All right. So Twitch chat is going to have to guess which, because 2 were Fake God and 1 was Faker. So Twitch chat, guess which champion clip was the Faker clip? Nico, Jace, or Karma? Amazing and Azael, kind of put your own thoughts together.
It's Nico.
You think it's
I'm guessing
Nico?
It's the Nico clip was Faker.
Which was the Faker clip?
I think it's
The other 2 was him.
It's the Nico one. It's the Nico
Okay,
one.
the other 2 is
That's
Fake
my
God.
guess. Yeah.
All right, so as we wait for those votes to come in, we're going to show a clip on the other side. This is a clip of Amazing, and the origin of your name is obviously straightforward. But some clips can be amazing, and some clips are really, really bad. So as we have...
No, really?
Wait,
What do you-
okay. Recognize
Oh,
this
that's
or-
me. No,
Yeah,
me?
we already know it's you. So the question is, how good is this play going to be? So here's
okay.
the Lee Sin. Is this going to be a great play or a terrible
Are you
play?
the Lee Sin here?
No, actually, I thought it was Surya.
Oh, are you?
Dude here.
Oh, no, he's the Lee Sin.
Okay.
Okay, I'm the Lee Sin.
According to production.
Wait, why are we still pausing?
So, because is this going to be a great play or a bad play? How much faith do you have in Maurice?
Oh, God.
I think
Is
it's
he
gonna be
pop off?
it's gonna be
gonna troll
an
you.
amazing play.
It's going to be an
Just like
amazing
his
play.
name, just like his name.
It's going to be an amazing play. He stopped Herald to help his team.
Oh,
Wait, that's a Q. Oh, this damage. Kicks Valkos into the turret.
That's
Or sorry,
by the
Kiana,
way.
sorry.
oh,
It was purple.
Well, this is looking pretty good. You're gonna get that kill.
kills him.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. What else?
All right, what else you got? Oh, the
Nami.
safety to ward hop. Killing Nami. That's a triple kill.
You didn't even say if it was gonna be good or not, dude.
He said it was going to be an
That was
amazing
gonna
play.
be
Okay, you did.
Yeah, and it
is
was.
it gonna be amazing play or
Yeah.
amazing play?
All right.
Oh, amazing,
So,
amazing play.
and you're still both saying the Faker clip was Nico.
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay.
So too.
Twitch chat says it was Jace. Twitch chat thought that the only good play there was Jace. So now I'm just curious which play it was, because I don't even know myself. I'm just waiting to hear or be told or have a visual.
I know.
Jace was the Faker.
Jace was the faker. Okay.
Yeah.
Jace is faker.
The other 2 plays
Did
for
you
him.
know you recognize the plays? Wait, you didn't think about
Wait,
that?
what? Wait, really?
I don't think you have.
Oh my
That's
God,
what our
wait.
researcher just told us.
Unless
he,
I
he couldn't
misheard.
even tell himself.
Yeah.
No, there's no way. Wait.
Did you not save a Nexus as Nico?
You know,
Like a week ago?
No, I know. I'm pretty sure that Nico clip was Faker. Like that's what I'm saying. Because I
It was
never,
definitely him. I'm hearing in my earpiece.
It was you.
He's not lying.
I don't know. I didn't pick the clip. I'm told that
Oh
was
my God.
you.
I feel like we
have
just
to take him to
blew
the
his
doctor.
mind.
We have to check him to the doctor.
This is actually the most surprising thing in his pro career now.
We can watch that clip again. This is the one and only. This was the sick Nico.
What's the context of this clip?
It's solo queue. He's got
Probably
the map
solo
accents
queue.
on.
Yeah, it must have been talking. Because my clip was from.
And it's got to be like the last 2 weeks.
Yikes.
Wow.
Okay.
How do you not remember that? There must
I
have
mean,
been
it
a
was a
solo,
loss.
solo highlight of your
Yeah, like, it was a lot. I mean,
It
he
was
got
a
like
loss,
6
right?
flash
He got a 5-man ult, but then he lost.
I do so many good plays that
all
yeah.
just blur together.
Solo you just 5-man every time.
Understood.
I mean,
No, I actually thought that was Faker.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
sure.
Like,
He's that good.
The Faker Jace was
Doesn't he
kind of
trust
like
the
was kind of funny. I think that
he missed the first shock
'cause
blast?
He missed the shock blast on a cocoon target.
Exactly. It made his
no,
look
I saw the Jace and I was like, wait, is this me?
This has to be NA Jace.
It looks like it's
Faker
me.
would never miss the skill shot. Faker missed the skill shot. So it's time for our last segment, which is Scion Speedway, where we test our incredible pros, Amazing and Fake God, and their drifting skills around a makeshift racetrack on Summoner's Rift. Amazing did his run before the episode aired here, before we started filming, so we got that clip. How did it go, Maurice?
I have 0 mechanics, so there's that.
Okay.
Oh.
That was
Okay,
tight.
drift.
Wait, this is actually the best drift, though.
Wait, are you smurfing?
He's actually smurfing.
How much Scion have you played?
Couple of jungle games. When
Couple of jungle Scion games.
Yeah.
Did you you're not popping your other action?
Yomu.
I should have probably done it earlier. But I
You
was,
should pop your ghosts and stuff, no?
no, am I not doing it? I'm
Oh,
doing
there
it now.
it goes. There's
But I'm doing it because of the righteous story I'm getting here.
Yep, when he sees the
He's
the
jogging
bots.
for it. This is the
Doing
strategy.
the heavy walking strategy.
This is the strategy.
Oh, no!
Oh, you hate to see that.
Oh, that's a tragedy.
Wait, did you ever flash?
No, I
When he sees the
He's
the
jogging
bots.
for it. This is the
Doing
strategy.
the heavy walking strategy.
This is the strategy.
Oh, no!
Oh, you hate to see that.
Oh, that's a tragedy.
Wait, did you ever flash?
no, I think I don't flash actually.
Oh, well, I mean, that's true for like NA pros a lot, so it's okay.
Well, this is incredible stuff.
All right, well, it was the risk-averse play. You had 3 total ults, and one of them hit a wall.
Yeah.
All right.
He's also, he was saving some of his cooldowns for later.
Save him for later.
Yeah.
But
Am I successfully last? Because that.
no, there's actually...
There's zero chance you're last
Acadian
place.
was last by so much.
Really?
He's not
Yeah.
even on the board anymore.
Fake ID, you're up. If you want to head up to the testing station, you're going to do your
Oh
climb.
no! Oh no!
I could be wrong, but
No, but
I walk
Acadian
here?
was like...
Yeah, like
very
45
far.
seconds.
What if
No,
I
he was like
just wasted
54
50
seconds.
Okay.
I could have wasted all of you guys' time by just like being really bad at it, no?
Yeah, you could have sped
true.
around, like gone backwards
could've.
for a while, put the train in reverse.
You would have had to play it too.
Unpause when you're ready, and the timer is live as soon as the unpause comes
Okay.
through.
Oh
I just
god.
resume and then I
Yep,
start?
absolutely.
Okay.
And then, yeah, it's instantly live.
Aaron, make me proud.
Make us proud.
All right, you got faith in your... Is your top laner a Scion god? That's
Yes.
what you need to know, Amazing.
100% true.
Oh god!
Oh,
I mean, it's not garbage. It's a little slow.
pop
An
the
early
ghost.
ghost.
Do you have
Ghost
It
doesn't
lasts
increase your move speed, though, during the ult.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah, I should probably. Oh wait, I should probably done some of those.
Wait. Okay, that's not bad.
yeah, I don't think you're Predator.
I actually like the flat out of the stagger.
You don't see the target, man.
There he goes.
Oh, there you go.
You do?
Oh, I think I clicked something out.
This is actually
Okay,
pretty
this is
good.
actually a really good run.
Yeah,
I feel like I clicked something else on
I
accident.
think they're oh.
Oh, you might have had a
that-
double activate?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that might be
well.
a second penalty.
Oh,
Oh,
it was looking
God.
really good. Those last two,
Last one.
hits.
no. Yeah.
Because number one is like just under 40 or 40.
Wait,
Yeah,
that-
it's like
that-
39 and change.
Yeah. But with those couple
Come on
little
back.
crashes
You
at
can
the
get-
end,
It's fine.
All right, well, once we get the times up, we'll see
I
this.
think you beat Amazing.
Yeah, did you beat him?
I think so. That would be
Yeah, I
my
hope
bet.
not.
Did you beat
I hope
Amazing?
so.
We gotta ask before the timers show up. What is it?
Yeah, I think
I
you
beat him.
for sure.
I beat him.
Beat him?
Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Where in the
Yeah.
top 10 are you guessing you both are?
I'm not in the top 10.
I'm guessing like 4th or 5th and like 9
I think
or
he's
10.
further than that. Maybe like
No,
nine.
I think I'm like, if it is top 10, it's probably like 9th or something.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
think
That's
he'd be
what I
near
would
the
guess.
bottom.
All right.
Because he's like 45 or 44 or something.
Was it really that slow? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Oh yeah, 1 second penalty. So down to 15.
Yeah.
But 44 and change would have actually put you at 8th. If it wasn't for the 1 second penalty,
Oh my
you'd be 8th.
god, I clicked the wrong active
Yeah.
item.
Amazing, not quite in top.
Not even.
Amazing with an oof of a time.
But
Yeah.
still like, I don't know, 3 or 4 seconds ahead of last place. Something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. Still a little Acadian, and he's a starting jungler, so you know it's fine.
There you go.
But yeah, I mean,
We
we
have
see like a lot of
learned
junglers.
that junglers are
Yeah,
not going to
like
sign
Wiggly, we had like, a couple other people down there.
Contracts is sitting
yeah,
at the
contracts
bottom.
at 19.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Not Scion players.
What is
Yeah.
bad?
Well, just not Scion players.
Yeah,
We need some like Leeson Wardhop Raceway or something.
that'd be the
Oh, that-
you said
that-
Wardhop race.
that would
dude.
be interesting.
That'd be
Yeah.
sick. All right, that'll be the next one for next year, maybe. Ready for a quick break. When we return, though, the four of us going to break down champion select for the Academy Showcase between Cloud9 and TSM. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
dark should fear me.
Welcome back to this week's Academy Showcase, where Fate God and Amazing are joining Azale and myself to break down Champion Select. TSM Academy right now in third place, Cloud9 Academy in first, as they are battling each other for some more bragging rights. The season ending fairly soon and then into the playoff run. 100 Thieves, of course, we have Fate God here, who was playing on the Academy team earlier until a big roster swap to put you into the LCS position. So kind of tell me what you sort of have been seeing from these teams in your Academy games.
I think Cloud9 Academy's been doing well. Like, they usually do well, or like, I've seen them before. Except they have a different top laner this time.
Who's top laner now?
It was Jukes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Jukes replacing Kumo.
Yep.
But not like completely, it's just like,
Yeah.
it's not in most of the games, because there's some thing they're doing. It's kind of, I don't really know what it is.
I mean, what I've seen like from Cloud9, at least in TSM, is like that they actually have different play styles. I think Cloud9, at least their academy team, whenever they go on stage, honestly, especially with Blaber, they're really, really aggressive. Whereas TSM, at least to my impression, like has been a lot more defensive. Especially, I guess if you're Blaber, you're always going to be aggressive. You're going to have someone that's going to play the drive and that's going to play maybe in the Camille when it's meta, just be aggressive on the map and make plays early on.
TSM bans are pretty strange. There's Gragas and Silas and then Xayah. I think there's a lot of Xayah bans for teams that like prioritize Xayah highly. And Cloud9 bans are, yeah, first pick Sedge.
Time to strike.
Madness lurks below. With honor. Only the worthy will survive.
Finally got my ninjas up and running. I don't know if it's because the other teams are bad or I don't know. Shit. Let's see what I can get.
A slow death will be their reward. Our wills align.
Ninja. Oh!
Without mercy.
A slow death will be their reward.
Let's go. Let's try.
Time to strike.
Really? No, no. Was that my set?
Only the worthy will survive. Let's see what they're made of. The shadows have enlightened me.
Without mercy.
Time to strike. Time to strike.
Oh, I should.
Without mercy. Let the bloodshed Without mercy. Without mercy.
A slow death will be their reward. With honor.
Let the bloodshed begin. Should have run. Let's go.
4-star or 3-star Zed, 3-star Pike, 3-star Shen, and 3-star Cannon. Holy crap, dude. 3 Blade Masters. 4 Assassins. No, 5 Assassins. I just need 1 more. Yeah, damn, that shit is OP. Disintegrate the thing. Assassin is the way to go, especially Ninja Assassin, because nobody has the balls to go for it early. But the thing is, you have to know how to transition, and that shit's hard, and I don't know how. But if you know how to build a good, strong team early, I like to transition out of gunslingers. Where's my? I just realized my mouse is like on the ground. Alright. Now you should be able to hear me a lot clearly. A lot more clearly. Oh no! Spatula, please! Give me spatula! No! No! Yes! Oh my gosh!
For Demacia. Your eternity begins.
The dark should fear me.
I don't know.
Feeling lucky? Demacia.
Oh, you mean... Wait.
They will be purified.
Time to strike. Here comes the boom.
Without mercy.
The dark should fear me.
Crap. Yeah.
For Demacia.
Fear the void.
The dark should fear me.
survive. The shadows have left me.
He got to be the Michael. I don't know how I beat Yordles though. Was he missing a Yordle? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He was missing a Yordle. What Yordle was he missing? Kenny. He was missing the Yordle that I was hogging. Nice. Dang, that's crazy. If it weren't for my cannons, he would have probably beaten me. I indirectly, well, directly, but unintentionally, blocked them from getting cannons. Get out among me, bro. Wait. Oh. I thought
Hear the void.
For Demacia.
The dark should fear me.
Your eternity begins.
Aim, fire. Precision and grace. Swiftly now.
They will know regret.
They will be purified.
As long as I stay on the streak, I guess.
I will fight as long as I stand.
United, we are stronger.
The dark should fear me.
Time to strike.
should fear me.
sleep today.